Hello and welcome back to my studio. Sometimes you just have to get your hands dirty and do some paper mache, which I have not done since high school. I am making a paper mache pumpkin for Halloween this year because decorations are expensive. There's multiple different ways to make paper mache, so I'm not going to give you step-by-step directions, but this one is made of plaster, water, paper, and glue. This took many days just to get it to this stage between layering and drying, but it is rock hard and it is ready to put on some features. By the way, all that white on there is the plaster that dried. So here's the features drawn on. You do want them to be as exaggerated as possible because you're working with paper, so it's going to be messy. It's not going to be exact. I know it's kind of hard to see here, but the features are on, and now we can start painting. So I am using acrylic paint for this, and when you're using acrylic paint on paper mache, please water it down so that it goes on smooth. You don't really want it to go on really chunky and accidentally rip your paper mache, just in case. So water it down and then apply to get a really smooth layer. And this is our terrified looking guy. He is all done getting painted, but he does need to get gessoed to protect that paint, and then he is going to be getting a couple layers of fixative because he is going to be sitting outside. Now when it comes to your gesso or your varnish, this is what I'm going to be using. It's pretty thin. You want to give it a really good shake, and then you're going to use either a plate or a bowl or just a plastic disc like this. I like to use something that I can just throw away afterward. And you're going to be using quite a lot of it, and if you think it's too much, it's not. And then I'm going to be taking this wide, pretty crappy brush. These are pretty cheap bristle brushes, but I need to be able to cover a large area, so let's go. So this is very liquidy, and then we're just going to brush this on in a pretty quick, even layer. And if you're wondering if you'll be able to see like all the, white parts on here when it dries, no, it'll dry just as a glossy finish. You won't even be able to see any of that white, but try to get it on as smoothly as you can. So I'm letting this first layer dry, and while we're doing that, please wash off your brush. Get all the gesso or varnish off of there because you don't want it ruining your brush. You are going to be using it for multiple layers if need be. This is what he looks like all dry. He is so glossy and actually looks a lot like plastic now. So if your pumpkin is staying inside, you can just stop at this stage with the gesso because now he is protected. But if he's going outside, you're going to need some fixative. Thank goodness I didn't have this guy out here last night because it did rain pretty bad. Now when it comes to our fixative, this is an outdoor only spray. You do not want to be breathing in these fumes. And just like with any kind of aerosol spray, you do want to give it a really good shake before you use it. And then you're going to try to apply a good even layer. You can, of course, do more than one layer and just let it dry in between. Now, while your fixative is drying, it is important not to touch it because you will be leaving little fingerprints everywhere that you touch. So just wait a couple of minutes, let it dry, and then add another layer if you so choose. By the way, don't forget to spray the bottom as well. You can protect the top layer as much as you want, but if you're not protecting the bottom, it will mold, it'll get ruined, it'll get soggy, so make sure you're also protecting the bottom of your paper mache. And now with our spider on top, this is our completed Scaredy pumpkin, and I hope this inspired you to maybe attempt to make your own paper mache instead of going out and buying something instead.